These three men are what Afghan security forces say were part of an ISIL terror cell that's been busted in Kabul. It's claimed they are responsible for 29 deadly attacks in the capital.
They've been recruiting from from the educated sector of the society, the young educated youth, and they've been very savvy with technology, and they've been ability to plan and launch attacks. They have had a lot of innocent blood on their hand, so it was a huge bust.
The hunt for ISIL, or Daesh as it's called locally, is not easy for the security forces. The group has become more sophisticated and difficult to track down. It is a relative newcomer to the Afghan conflict, but is making its presence felt with a string of attacks and suicide bombings. This is one of their biggest a few weeks ago. The target was a SHER wedding reception in Kabul. More than 60 people were killed and 180 injured. The largely home-based group is relatively small in number, but it is developing and expanding into more areas.
People who are fighting in the name of Daesh, they're all those old hardcore Taliban who separated from Taliban. And they are supported from some elements from outside.
But the Afghan army believes that as ISIL fighters are driven out of Syria, some are making their way to remote areas of Afghanistan. But also that ISIL ranks will swell with disaffected Taliban fighters that oppose a peace deal. A cornerstone for the US of any peace agreement is that the Taliban agrees to prevent any group from using Afghanistan as a base to launch attacks on the US and the West.
Taliban, no matter how they guarantee, they cannot fight on their own without the support of the government, support of the army, and support of the international community.
But that's probably a long way in the future. It's the attacks in Afghanistan now that frighten people. ABDUL Latif knows the pain ISIL can inflict. His youngest son, Abdul Jamil, was a musician who was killed in the Kabul wedding hall bombing.
They are against humanity. They are not Muslims, and nothing about our religion allows you to go and blow someone up. This was not a military place. This was just a wedding party.
Breaking up this group has been a big success for the security forces, but there has been some concern and surprise that it took so long to catch them, and there are worries that there may be further ISIL cells waiting to be activated. It is clear that when Afghanistan eventually achieves peace, ISIL will still be a big problem that will be difficult to solve. Tony Birtley, Al Jazeera, Kabul.